Well, right now, more problems for Moviepass. Many users were turned away while trying to use the subscription-based movie ticket service over the weekend. Moviepass says the problems were caused by technical difficulties and they're working on that fix, but it comes just days after the company had to borrow $5 million to pay its bills. Many people are now wondering if this is the end of the service, which only launched last year.
From land to the ocean, Tesla here is looking to catch some waves. This is a $1,500 surfboard made out of carbon fiber. It has the company's logo right there on it. Tesla only made 200 surfboards, so it's pretty unique. The surfboard went on sale yesterday, sold out almost instantly. However, some have already made their way on eBay. Look at this one, listed for almost $4,000 right there. This is on eBay right now, so hey, make your best bid, and this could be yours, Kalina.
Yay, that's exciting. All right. Well, Walmart plans to launch its own movie streaming service, but it has its eyes set on a different demographic. The company says it's looking for middle America after the successful revival of shows like Roseanne. Now, Walmart says the service will be cheaper than Amazon and Netflix, and they hope to attract subscribers outside of large cities. Planning is still in the early stages, and a decision to actually move forward with the plan could come by early fall.
New today, T-Mobile once again making a push to compete against Verizon and AT&T. Just months after it agreed to a merger with Sprint, T-Mobile has partnered with Nokia for their first nationwide 5G network. Nokia will give T-Mobile $3.5 billion in 5G network gear, making it the world's largest 5G deal so far. 5G promises to deliver faster speeds for cell phones while making networks more responsive, more reliable for medical monitoring and driverless cars. A grandmother survives after spending the night in a ditch after a crash. Her daughter talks to 10 News about this terrifying ordeal.
And City Council is searching for ways to fix the water bill errors plaguing thousands of San Diegans.
And two competing plans up for vote in November. City Council looking at Soccer City and SDSU West. Now let's check traffic with CHP officer Jim Betancourt. Hey, Jim.
Well, right now we do have reports on the northbound side of the 15, right around 9th, of a mattress that was in the lanes. May have been struck by a vehicle, so watch out for some debris if you're going to be traveling in that direction. Northbound side of the 5 still busy past the 56 through Del Mar, and the southbound side of the 5 still slow and go from Palomar Airport Road through Encinitas. Here's the 78 right at Nordahl Road, and traffic here is very light. I'm Officer Jim Betancourt with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
A grandmother in Fallbrook survives after crashing her car into a ravine. Her family desperately looking for her for nearly 12 hours.
And 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is at the hospital where that grandmother is recovering this morning.
And I've been talking to that woman's daughter all morning. She tells me her mom is doing okay, a little sore from the accident. She's recovering here at Palomar Medical. Doctors are running tests to make sure there aren't any other major injuries. Her daughter tells me if it hadn't been for her social media post, her mom would still be missing. It was 12 long hours for Sherry Blandon and her family as they searched for their mother and grandmother.
So I just kept praying to God, please, dear God, help me find my mom, please, I have to find her. And that's when I decided to stop and look down the fence. That's when I found her.
72-year-old Ann Blandon was missing since 2 yesterday afternoon. When she didn't show up for a family barbecue, her daughter knew something was wrong.
She's never late. My mom always does exactly what she says she's going to do.
Sherry found her mom around 3 in the morning. This car overturned about 20 feet down the ravine. Her daughter says her mom told her she fell asleep. Rescue crews helped her out with a rope, then pulling the car up the mountain.
And then she said she was going to stop at Walmart. And then she was going to head home. That's why we knew. And we talked to people she had lunch with, and they said last time we saw her was 2 o'clock.
Her car full of groceries from that trip to the store. She survived on fruit and water inside of the car, donuts, and another box of fruit scattered out of the car during the crash.
I just like, is she talking? And they said, yeah. And I said, is she okay? And they said, yeah, she seems to be okay.
Sherry credits social media for helping her find her mom. Her best friend saw this Facebook post, then while driving around saw a hole in the fence along the road. She called Sherry to let her know it could be related. Sure enough, that's where her mom crashed before falling into the embankment.
If she would have said that, we would have never found her.
That woman's daughter tells me that if doctors give her the green light, she could be going home as early as today. She did tell me her mom was a little upset that they didn't find her sooner. Reporting in Escondido, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Well, right now, up in Redding, firefighters frantically working to get a handle on this. This is the Carr fire, and since it started last week, it has now exploded to nearly 100,000 acres. At least 6 people have been killed by the fire. 7 others are still missing. 2 firefighters have died, and today we're learning of the tragic death of 2 children and their great-grandmother.
I talked to Junior on the phone till he died. He just kept saying, "Grandpa," he said, "come get me." He said, "Come and get me. The fire's coming in the back door. Come on, Grandpa." I said, "I'm right down the road."
Oh, your heart just goes out to that man. He says his family was never even told to evacuate. So far, the Carr fire is 17% contained. It's destroyed at least 600 structures. Amid all that tragic destruction, that heartbreak in Redding, some signs of hope. CHP released images over the weekend of officers saving a frightened young deer from the Carr fire. Let's take a closer look now at that deer. Aww. They say firefighters found it alone, really close to that fire, so the CHP took it in its own arms, literally, and offered to take it somewhere safe, and so now it's been turned over to a deer rescue organization.
Well, meanwhile, just northeast of San Diego County, the Cranston fire continues to burn in Idlewild, but evacuation orders have been lifted in the area. The Cranston fire sparked last week when police say a man intentionally started it. Since then, it's grown to 13,000 acres. Right now, firefighters have it 57% contained. The man accused of starting it, Brandon McGlover, has been charged with 15 different arson-related felonies and could face life in prison. Now to a story we've been following closely for months. San Diegans overcharged on their water bills. First, smart meters were to blame, but an audit of Public Utilities Department found it was mostly due to human error, not a machine. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is downtown where that committee is reviewing the findings and coming up with solutions.
After human error was found to be the key factor of those outrageously high bills, the city's audit committee went through those findings here today, and now the Public Utilities Department is promising to fix the issues at hand to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Training is number 1. Number 2 is a complete review and assessment of every standard operating procedure we have for customer service, for billing, for meter reading. We need to be respectful to the ratepayers of San Diego when they call in and have a question.
Johnny Perkins just took over as the city's Deputy Chief Operating Officer of Infrastructure and Public Works a little more than 2 weeks ago. He's now hoping to have most of the problems corrected by the beginning of next year and regain customer trust. He says the department will first look at management structure and protocols. Members of the city's audit committee say they were originally conducting an audit of the department after many customer service complaints. They then shifted their focus on the high water bills after customers said they were being overcharged. The audit found that 2,750 customers received high water bills due to human error. The city's report laid out 10 recommendations to fix and prevent these issues, all of which the Public Utilities Department agreed to implement. Currently, there are 37 meter readers with 3 supervisors. One council member brought up that some of these readers may be overworked, having a 17-mile stretch of meters to cover in a short time. Perkins says they'll be assessing these routes and looking for solutions.
How many meters should be read in an 8-hour period? How many are being read today?
And Perkins says he plans to have updates for the city and for the public on a monthly basis. Reporting downtown, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Thank you, Mimi. New developments now. Prosecutors say the Minneapolis police officers who shot and killed a man last month will not be charged. Authorities released body camera video from the shooting. The 2 officers involved were responding to a 911 call of a man firing a gun into the air last month. As they arrived, one shouts, "He's got a gun," and a frantic chase begins. About a minute later, both officers open fire. But when the video is slowed down, you can see the man pulling a gun from his waistband just before the shots were fired. Both officers are on administrative leave pending the investigation.
San Diego police and the FBI are investigating a Border Patrol shooting. Agents opened fire on a suspect after he hit another agent with a rock and then stole his ATV. This was early yesterday morning in the Tijuana River Valley. Investigators say the agent was on routine patrol when the suspect threw a rock at him. It knocked him off his ATV and the suspect jumped on it. Other agents chased him until he crashed into a fence. They opened fire at some point during the pursuit, striking the suspect at least once. He was taken to the hospital, is expected to survive. None of the Border Patrol agents were injured.
The man accused of killing 5 staff members inside the Capitol Gazette newsroom last month waived his first court appearance today. His lawyer entered a not guilty plea for him. Jared Ramos has been indicted on 5 counts of first-degree murder, among other charges connected to the mass shooting in Maryland. Several reporters were in court today, including some from the Capitol Gazette. A hearing is expected next month.
And now to those allegations rocking CBS. 6 women are accusing Chairman and CEO Les Moonves of decades of sexual misconduct. The board is now expected to appoint a special committee to investigate. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
Today, CBS is in crisis management mode. Its regular board meeting interrupted with debates over the future leadership of the company. It comes after the head of CBS, Les Moonves, credited with turning around the network with a string of hit shows,
I can't breathe,
is now at the center of a sexual abuse scandal. Last Friday, Ronan Farrow broke the news in The New Yorker, detailing allegations from 6 women of inappropriate behavior, ranging from unwanted kissing to sexual assault.
The goal here was to expose stories that had been buried for a long time. These women want accountability.
One of the women who came forward with allegations against Moonves, producer Dina Kirgo, telling NPR that Moonves made an unwanted advance towards her, saying he called her after a meeting to push for a dinner alone years ago when she was working on launching a show.
He said, "Look, you're really expensive and I need to know you're worth it."
She turned him down and the show didn't get launched.
And the conversation ended, and he went from being very friendly to being really cold.
CBS says that Moonves has no recollection of the meeting or the phone call. Now, in response to the accusations, the CBS chief says in a statement, "I always understood and respected and abided by the principle that no means no, and I have never misused my position to harm or hinder anyone's career." The CBS board says they will fully investigate these claims and they'll hire an outside law firm to do so. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
College area residents are fed up with homeless trash near the public library. Before Aaron and Ariana Webster walk into the library, they say they have to walk by a mountain of garbage piled up by homeless people who have taken over the lot next door.
What's going on here? Is this like the homeless place shelter or is this a library? And I see all this trash behind there and this is just not good at what we do to the community.
They say it's gotten worse recently and so out of control, some of it is spilling onto library property. We call the owners who say they're aware of the problem and are trying to hire a company to see what they can do and hopefully a regular cleanup. They hope that that will start in the next couple of weeks. They say a cleanup crew will come this week and they've hired security to patrol